For today's video, I'll speak about the Carlton vs Collingwood round 2 clash. So yeah, the Pies got up, good to see them bounce back, and Carlton, I'm not quite sure where they're at. But we're going to speak about the players, the relevant players from those games. And we'll start off with the Collingwood players. So the first player we'll speak about is Patrick Cripps, probably the biggest talking point thus far. So my view is he's not a premium anymore. But what's interesting is Tom Brown came out and said this morning, I know Tom Brown is a really dodgy source at times, but his sources are saying that Cripps is battling groin and back issues. So he's managing them, but he won't use them as an excuse. Which isn't surprising, given he looked horrific. He had no power in his legs. I know he's got no acceleration at all, but he had literally zero, like worse than normal. He wasn't really diving for the ball, no desperation, no chase, no spread. Second to the ball, he looked horrible. Cripps has got to go. And that's the problem with this pick. You can say, oh, well, maybe Tom Brown's right, maybe it's because he's injured. He's been playing through injuries for a while now, on and off. So it's part of the pick. It was a bad pick to begin with, it seems. So yeah, that's a lesson. Like, just because he was good once doesn't mean he will be good again, if that makes sense. So maybe he will be in a few years, but you know, the not knowing factor is part of the problem. But yeah, it could have worked, could have not worked, and it's not working right now. If you watch the game, there's no way you can possibly keep him based on what you've seen. Scoring wasn't that bad, 80s, but still, looked lethargic as hell. Cripps has got to go. Next, we'll speak about Paddy Dow. So Dow's not looking too great, and his time on ground suggests his engine isn't very good, or his tank isn't very good. So yeah, second half fade out again. Looks okay sometimes. He's still a panic merchant, unfortunately. When he gets the ball from a clearance, his first instinct is just to get rid of the ball straight away. So, if Dow plays, you hold. The only way you trade Dow is if you're not happy with anyone you want to side. If you have Patrick Cripps as well, Cripps has got to go. So, for example, if you're not happy with anyone at Cripps' price point, you trade Dow to a rookie you missed, and then you turn Cripps into Tom Mitchell or something. But the point stands, like he's 200k. He's scoring not the worst, but it's like if he holds his spot, it's not the worst field option right now. So he'll make a bit of money. There's nothing wrong with holding here, but only if it's a really good opportunity that presents, you get rid of him. But yeah, he'll still make a bit of money if you hold him, if he plays. And next, Sam Walsh. Sam Walsh was a tick. As the game went on, he got a bit better. Looks like a one-man army at this rate. But yeah, unfortunate for Walsh that Carlton might not be as good as probably everyone expected. I don't know about everyone, but I think I expected them to be a bit better this year. But we'll see how they go. So maybe he'll have to score well in some losses. But it's a tick from Walsh. I know it's only 105, but he looked fine. Still getting playing the ball. CBAs were there. And Sam Docherty. If you have Docherty, I guess you just hold for now. I know, 85, nothing to panic about, but he actually looks terrible to me. Just his disposal, he makes a lot of errors down back. So, yeah, he looks kind of washed, to be honest, but that doesn't mean he can't score well. So Doc's a hold, I reckon. Bit of an awkward price as well, so hard to trade him out. But I know I'm saying being a bit, I'm saying trade Cripps, Dow's probably a hold. But yeah, with Docherty, it's like, he just doesn't look great, and he's going to be a little bit off the other defenders, it seems. But we know he can still score well. Again, with Docker, durability is an issue as well. So not looking like the best pick right now. Just the eye test for me. But yeah, I think you just hold for the time being. I don't think it's going to hurt you too bad. So now we'll get to the Collingwood players. First player we'll speak about is Brodie Grundy. So I think a lot of our doubts are gone with Grundy. I think the Grundy had a great preseason, and we knew that Steph gives him a hard time usually. The issue with Grundy was just ruckman in general, I thought. And it looks like it's going to take some time for ruckman to adapt. I don't think he was as influential around the ground as he was 2 years ago. But having said that, I thought there were quite a few stoppages last night. It was high scoring anyway. So he played really well in the second half. He built into the game. The hitouts really helped him. I think he had a ton of 50 plus hitouts this game. So with Grundy, he's going to be top 2. We can just leave him there. I'm not expecting 130 anymore. I thought his second efforts were really, really good last night. I thought last year they weren't as good. But yeah, he looked at playing with a bit more desperation, and maybe, preseason was good. He's a bit happier now. Tick for Grundy. If you don't have him, have fun trying to get him in. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm not expecting that 130 average. So next we'll speak on Darcy Moore. So Darcy Moore, forward 30k defender. Seen a little bit of talk about him. I don't mind it. My issue with Moore is a long history of durability issues with that hamstring. So I'm not interested, but he looked good. He was rebounding. I think Mackay kicked 4 goals on him, but I thought he played great nonetheless. Took quite a lot of intercept marks. It was a brick wall the week before. But yeah, still played well. So you could go for more if you want. I would not, because it's just, at this point in round 2, it's just hard to trust players that aren't proven premiums. So for that reason, it's too high risk for me, but I can see it working. The durability is also a major issue, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to get more in, but I can see the appeal if you'd like it. Yeah, key defender, they're going to have some down games as well, but they're going to have games where they mark a trillion times. Docherty, big cross. I know he scored 100, but way too much forward time. Just way too much. And yeah, Plowman was... I don't know if he even played on Plowman, but I think Plowman switched opponents at times, but yeah, he leaked a lot of goals last night. So Docherty, cross, the role is not there. I would get rid of him personally. So yeah, plus his durability issues. This is a waste of a pick, to be honest. But yeah, he's going to have big games, but he's also going to have down games, and he's probably going to miss games. Jack Cripps looked pretty good. A bit of midfield time, which was great. On the wing and CBAs, I think. So yeah, he looks good. Yeah, looking like a solid pick, and the durability is there. It's going to be hard to keep up with some of the other big defenders, the 530k plus defenders, but yeah, I think he held his own, and yeah, you got a defender for 22 games. I would be pleased with this pick. And next we have Maynard. So it's only one bad game, so you probably hold, I guess, but the issue is you can't really afford to have an underperforming defender. But yeah, he had durability. I think he had some sort of minor injury coming into the season. I didn't pay enough attention to see his role, but it looked like he wasn't doing any rebounding. Moore was doing the rebounding. Howe was doing rebounding. Who else? I can't even remember. Chris played mostly up the ground. So yeah, it's an interesting one, because he's a small defender that can win the ball. So there might be times where he plays lockdown. So scored really poorly. I think this is a luxury trade. I hate saying trade premiums like right off the bat, but there are safer options. If you've used trades, you have to hold. The only issue is, like, does his role slightly change? Does he play more lockdown throughout the year? It could be a frustrating pick. He's probably a hold though. He showed good rate of improvement last year, so it's a bit of a tough one. But yeah, a lot of the defenders, they're going to have these bad games, so I think he's a hold. But I would be slightly worried, because there are other defenders that are going to probably average 105 to 110. And you don't want Maynard, because Maynard could average 100, he could average in the 80s. That's the issue. So probably a hold, I think so. I think he's proven he can score. It's just I'm not exactly sure what his role is going to be week to week. And we have one more player, I can't read it. Sidebottom. So Sidebottom played a lot forward, I thought. Played a little bit through the midfield. So looking like an upgrade target mid-year probably. I think he has the last buy, which makes it a little bit awkward. So maybe he's your final upgrade in like round 15 or something. But we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think. A lot of hard calls to be made. And at this stage, if you've done your research, you back your players in. The best thing to do is generally hold. Cripps is definitely a trade though. And then Maynard I think Maynard will be fine. It's just I'm not sure on Maynard, whereas I am sure with Stewart, Ridley, etc. That's the issue. So yeah, let me know what you're doing with guys like Cripps and Dow and stuff like that. But other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.